Happy day after Thanksgiving, everybody. We have a lot to talk about. Mostly Vanderpump Rules, and Scheana and Lala are talking about their feelings now that the cast has been fired, and a new, fresh, brand new cast will be on the next season of Vanderpump. But the OGs won't. So smash that like, you guys. Hopefully, you're wearing something comfy. Grab a beverage and let's get started.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold, but don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, stand-up comedian and pop culture vulture, Joleen Lunzer here for another No Offense, All Offense, where we talk about our favorite reality TV shows, news, pop culture. Basically, we roast it, we react to it, we find the funny of all the things we love to hate, hate to love to hate to love to hate. You know what I'm saying. Just so you are aware, I'm very opinionated. So I'm going to be giving my opinion and my commentary on it, but that doesn't mean you guys have to have the same opinion. You are free to sound off in the live chat or the comment section, and we can just respectfully agree to disagree with each other.
That's my opinion!
It's just my opinion. Okay. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving if you're in the US and wherever else you are in the world. I hope you had a wonderful Thursday. It's now Friday, Black Friday. And maybe some of you are shopping. Last live, we did name some wonderful woman-owned small businesses to support. And I see some of you have already done that. So yay. And I'll put the links in the description of this video again for those businesses that we discussed. Now, hit that like, hit that subscribe. It's a free way to support the channel. It lets people know that we are live over here, especially if you hit that like, and it invites them into our Lean Team live chat. So please, if you don't mind, do that. If you want to support the channel further, you can do what Kelly Francis did here. You can become a member of my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. You'll get exclusive content, emojis, some other fun stuff every Monday. And if not every Monday, every other Monday, we do members only lives for our YouTube members and then also our Patreon supporters in 2 of the tiers. You guys, I do have a discount right now on my Patreon, 15% off if you get a year subscription. A couple of you have taken advantage of that. So I hope you enjoy it and get some exclusive content over there. It's just whatever your preference is. Okay, let's get into it. How is everybody doing? Thank you. Thank you. I've had this sweatshirt forever and I forgot it was in the back of my closet, and I'm like, oh, I'm putting it on because it's like a cozy day. Thank you. I got my Laura Geller on with a little bit of a lot of highlighter. Okay. And I will be doing another little collab with Laura Geller. I got some more products. I'll be putting on another makeup video if you guys are into that. And if you checked out my last one, and I will have discount codes for you if you want to purchase any of the Laura Geller products. Pamela B, thank you for coming in with the first super chat of the live. Another great way to support the channel. Pamela says, I survived a mega Thanksgiving. LOL. Well, I am so happy for you. Hopefully everybody survived being with family on this very divided political time for everybody. So yes. Just finished the podcast minutes ago. Okay, so we're going to be talking about it. We're going to be talking about the Lala and Scheana situation. So as we and everybody knows who is a Vanderpump Rules fan or ever was a Vanderpump Rules fan, it was announced last week. First, it was announced that Schwartz and Sandy's, aka Sharts and Skeezies, was closing. Then it was announced that Kristen Doty, now on the Valley, is pregnant. So congratulations, Kristen. And then it was announced that Vanderpump Rules will be coming back, but with none of the OG cast members. It'll be a new, fresh cast, and they're going to start filming next year with this cast. I think people are skeptical. Okay. Some people liked what they did when they brought back a fresh cast with Roni. Some people didn't. So we will just have to wait and see if we're going to like that. But a lot of the OG Vanderpump or somewhat OG Vanderpump peeps, they sounded off on their social media. We went over that last week, but no one has really spoken on it. You know, they just did like posts and pictures and things like that. But Lala and Scheana, of course, Scheana did not miss an opportunity for a full episode of Shenanigans to talk about their feelings on the cast being fired from the next season of Vanderpump Rules. Okay. So we are going to just take a listen to that segment of Shenanigans. If you want to hear the entire episode, you can find Scheana'S podcast Shenanigans anywhere you listen to podcasts. And she also has a YouTube channel if you just search Scheana Shay if you're not already subscribed, because we don't want to put salt in any of the women on Vanderpump, any of their game. Go give Scheana the view on that podcast. She also had Janet from the Valley and Jared, who's also featured on the Valley. He's a friend of, and I know him from I think he's like a professional makeup artist person. He does a lot of their makeup, but I know him from his now famous to me video where he drags Sandoval to hell and back about not really being kind of like a performative friend and not being there for him because he unfortunately had a cancer diagnosis. And when he was in treatment and stuff, I think he's in remission. So that's wonderful news. Sending all the healing, good stuff Jared's way. But when everything went down with Sandoval, he made it a point to point out that Sandoval was he wasn't really there. He was there when the cameras were around, while Ariana and the rest of them were there as real friends. So as you can see, Janet from the Valley, Scheana in the middle, Jared down below, and then Lala next to Scheana. And she titled this podcast R.I.P. VPR. And they get into it. Now, there was a segment before they get into it because, of course, well, there were a lot of segments because Scheana did not want to just start with that and then people will stop watching. That's bad for business. You got to have everybody listen to the ads and you got to make that money, honey. So she waited till the end of the podcast to address the VPR stuff. However, they did talk a little bit about Ariana on headlining on a float on the Macy's Thanksgiving parade. Okay, so the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. Is that how I say it? Yes. My words are jumbled. And I didn't even eat any turkey yesterday, but I did eat all of the sides. So I did watch Ariana's performance. I see some people online being haters about it, and I just don't understand the hate for Ariana getting to perform on a float and sing Love Fool, the 90s classic, love me, say that you love me. Again, everybody, there's some hateration going on. I see some people posting, like, I think people think it's cool now to hate on Ariana. They're like, yeah, screw her, whatever. And they're like, she lip sync. Everybody lip syncs at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. It was like raining there. It's outside. Acoustics not great. Everybody lip syncs. She really sang the song. And then they play, like, everybody lip syncs. I thought she did a good job. It was super cute. It was great to see her. I love that she was singing, a 90s song and surrounded by because she is the host of Love Island. That's how she was introduced too. It was like, Ariana, nothing with Vanderpump Rules. So everyone else is fired, looking for what they're going to do. I mean, again, Scheana, Lala, they'll all be okay. I mean, they have their podcasts and they have other, deals. I don't know about the Toms. I mean, Tom Schwartz is going to be on this upcoming season of The Valley. I don't know if he'll end up becoming a cast member. Lala's going to be featured too. They're going to be like in the background, like hire us. Scheana as well. Sandoval, I don't know what he's good at. So I'm not sure. I guess if they just have a bunch of shows, I guess next he could be on House of Villains or something. If they have like a show where you have to lie a lot, or like a karaoke show, like the world's worst karaoke singers or something, I guess he could do that, but they'll make their money. It might be a little harder than the route that Ariana's on because she now is the host of a very popular television show on Peacock, Love Island. And I did not watch it until Ariana was host. I'll be honest with you. I watched it when it was on, I think, CBS years ago, because I think it came on like after Survivor or something, and I wasn't really into it, but now it's on Peacock. So anyways, it was very interesting to see Ariana get introduced as the host of Love Island with nothing to do with Vanderpump Rules. So really, Ariana just put out a post on social media. We went over it last time. She was really grateful remembering her time, much of the cast did. So I doubt she'll talk about it a ton because she's booked and busy. I mean, she is busy, busy, busy. Red Wolf says, I thought Ariana did great. She's so pretty. Yeah, I thought she did great too. But of course, you're going to have your haters. You know, it seems like there's like a kind of group that really thinks it's cool now, you know, and that is unfortunately the nature of the business and stuff. It's like the more you're built up, the more people can't wait to tear you down, even when you've done nothing. Ariana's literally done nothing to deserve to be torn down. She has every step of the way basically taken the high road. You know what I mean? She set boundaries for herself. She yelled at a couple of people when she had to, but other than that, she hasn't went on like a hate campaign on podcasts and things like a lot of her castmates have. So, but okay, everybody is gonna choose whatever they want to do. All right. So Ariana's busy doing that. Now, there was a little part of the podcast I want to play before we get into them talking about if they have any regrets regarding Vanderpump Rules ending, if they would have done anything different. There was mention of her on the performing at the Macy's Thanksgiving parade. And Lala has a very interesting, and I say interesting, but it's not. It is a very now what we would consider to be typical, tired, cliched response to Ariana, having another opportunity. Okay. So let's take a listen to it here. I kind of edited it together for our listening pleasure. And everybody else seemed to be pretty excited that Ariana has this big opportunity because it is a big opportunity that any of them, Scheana and Lala especially, who both enjoy singing and want to be singers, would love to have this opportunity. But let's listen to what Lala has to say about Ariana singing and having a headlining spot on one of the floats. Let's just take a listen. You guys, please put a thumbs up in the chat to make sure that the audio is working as soon as I hit play. All right, let's listen.
Our traditions were so simple. It was like, okay, we're gonna have a little fruit plate in the morning, watch the Macy's Day Parade. Like I know it's such a cliche, but that's to me that's like kicks off the holiday season. You know, when I see Santa, I'm like, ooh, we're almost there.
You watch that?
Yes.
I've never watched it. Actually, can I tell you, my brother pointed out something. I was like, I've never watched the parade because it starts so freaking early, right?
But then they replay it and then it just like
plays all day.
No, we don't watch
I feel like
that.
it's on the background. We have football.
We
on,
watch
don't
sports.
Yeah.
There's basketball
sports as well.
Well, they put on sports
I
eventually.
technically do watch the Macy's Day Parade often because it's on Seinfeld.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And also we watch Christmas Vacation every year,
Yes.
and the old people are passed out watching that. So technically I do watch it.
Yeah. I've always watched the parade. And I feel like for Ariana too, growing up watching the parade to now be performing in the parade. She's on the Peacock float.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. NBC that's so awesome.
Yeah. So I'm like, dang, to like watch that as a kid. And then
Is she singing
in it.
or what is she doing?
yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess this is airing after that airs, right? So I can say she's on the Peacock float with like a bunch of islanders around her and
Oh,
she's singing
cool.
Cranberries Love Fool.
Wow. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love that song.
I know. So
Nice.
that's really fucking
I don't
cool.
think I know that.
Yeah, you do.
Love me.
Say that you
Oh, that is
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cute. Yeah.
I like that.
Do we know if the Islanders have a good voice?
They might just be dancing or something. I think she's singing.
Okay.
I don't think they cast Islanders
Like,
based on
let's
their voices.
Let's not like make fools of people. Let's like please give
I assume she'll be singing and they'll just be like,
I think so too. They're just like on the float. Yeah.
Cute. That's very cute.
No, totally.
There is just no freaking way this chick. Okay, so she's on Love Island. I don't watch that show. I'm never gonna watch that show. She's headlining the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I've never watched that. I've never watched that in my life. It's like Lala. Chicago. I didn't go. I don't even know who Roxy Hart is. I've never even heard of that. I mean, the length this woman goes to be such a hater, to be so passive aggressive. You watch that. Not only does she say she doesn't watch it, she's pretending she doesn't know Ariana's performing on it. And then the Jared guy even looked at her like, bitch, please, girl, it's on all day. Everyone has seen And so she, not only did she just say, oh, I didn't see it or I didn't know that, she then was like, oh, you watched that, with like judgment that, oh no, we're watching sports, we're busy. I mean, it's this kind of stuff that is just so unnecessary, Lala. It's unnecessary. It's and it's such the hypocrisy of you to be like, I support Ariana. I always am her cheerleader. What kind of cheerleader is that? You're hating on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade that Ariana is performing in. And by going, oh, you watch that? Like, people watch that. And then at the end of her story, she's like, well, I guess I've seen it because it's on Seinfeld. And I watched Seinfeld. And then all the old people who are eating, who are, you know, at Thanksgiving, all my old family members are passed out and it's on. So yeah, I guess when the elderly, when my nearly deceased family is just stuck immobile on the couch, it's on, and then we can't turn it, or they'll get very upset because old people love it. It's like, girl, I mean, Lala, Ariana. And then when they're, then she doesn't even, then she's like, and she's never heard of Love Fool. Like, she's never heard that song before. I'm like, what? And it's not the Cranberries, Scheana, it's the Cardigans. The Cranberries sing zombie, zombie, zombie. What's in your head? Very different. Okay. But I can see both with C's. Now, at least Scheana is like, that must be really great. She saw that as a kid, which gives me, like, I know I shouldn't, but it gives me like a little hope that Scheana at least is, you know, still, I mean, she at least for public purposes, she's not like shading her friend in the most ridiculous way. So she's like, that must be really cool for her growing up watching that. Lala's like, you watch that? Oh no, I don't even know what. Oh yeah, the elderly watch that. And what's she singing? Oh, I've never heard of it. You've never heard of the Cardigans, Love Fool? And everyone, all the others, Janet, Jared, Scheana, they're like, you've heard the song, Lala, love me, love me. Like, it's now, the song is so old now, it's played at grocery stores and inside Kohl's. Okay. So everyone has heard that damn song, especially your age. You're 34 years old. You've heard that song. So for her to just, it's just so unnecessary at this point, you know? Oh, let's see what you guys are saying. Pamela says, Lala, you are no Mariah Carey, honey, acting like you don't know. It's like, yeah, I don't know her. I don't think I've ever. Kelly Sandyford, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. It is just so ridiculous. Okay, we got to watch it one more time, because just now knowing what we know, she's going to deny that, first of all, she's ever seen the Thanksgiving Day Parade. She doesn't watch it. Ew. And she's almost appalled that someone else will watch it. You watch that, to Jared. And I did like how Jared's like, yeah, it's on all day. Of course, I watch that. It's like tradition. I'm sure not. You've seen it before. And just, even if you don't like it, just take this time to maybe just not say anything. Because if you hate Ariana, fine. If you are just going to finally admit, I hate her, I don't want her to do well, I hope the worst things in the world happen to her and only her, because that's what it seems like, then you can say this shit. But if you're going to say, oh, I'm such a cheerleader, I love her, yeah, no, I'm rooting for her, and then every chance you get, you shit on her, no, then you can't say that. Unless you want to admit that you really hate her, don't say this shit, because you look like a fool and not a love fool. You look like a hypocrite. And then she starts going, well, are the Islanders going to sing? She's asking questions that, you know, this bitch knows that the Islanders aren't going to be singing. And then she goes, well, I wouldn't want someone to be made a fool of. Lala. Please stop. Please stop. Say less, hater. If you really are a cheerleader for her, then say less. Okay? It's just unnecessary at this point. So one more time with feeling. Watch Lala just unnecessarily hate on anything she can, any opportunity Ariana gets. When Ariana gets DSW, she's like, oh, I don't think I've ever wore shoes, but what's a shoe? Is it? I don't know. I've never heard of it. No.
Our traditions were so simple. It was like, okay, we're going to have a, you know, little fruit plate in the morning, watch the Macy's Day Parade. Like, I know it's such a cliche, but that's, to me, that's like kicks off the holiday season. Yeah. You know, when I see Santa, I'm like, ooh, we're almost there.
You watch that?
Yes.
I've never watched it. Actually, can I tell you, my brother pointed out something. I was like, I've never watched the parade because it starts so freaking early, right?
But then they replay it, and then it just like
plays all day.
No, we don't watch that.
I think it's on the background. We have football.
We watch sports.
Yeah.
There's basketball
as well.
Well, they put on sports eventually.
I technically do watch the Macy's Day Parade often because It's on Seinfeld.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And also we watch Christmas Vacation every year,
Yes.
and the old people are passed out watching that. So technically I do watch it.
Yeah. I've always watched the parade. And I feel like for Ariana too, growing up watching the parade to now be performing in the parade, she's on the Peacock float.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. NBC or that's so awesome.
Yeah. So I'm like, dang, to like watch that as a kid. And then
is she singing
in it.
or what is she doing?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess this is airing after that airs, right? So I can say she's on the Peacock float with like a bunch of islanders around her, and she's singing Cranberries Love Fool.
Wow. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love that song.
I know.
Nice.
So that's really fucking cool.
So look at how like Jared and Jen are like, oh my God, I love that song. Well, I was like, I can't even acknowledge I know the song she's singing. What's music? I'm sorry. I don't know. What's never heard of it.
This is airing after that airs, right? So I can say she's on the Peacock float with like a bunch of islanders around her, and she's singing Cranberries Love Fool.
Wow. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love that song.
I know.
Nice.
So that's really fucking cool.
I don't think I know that.
Yeah, you do.
Love me.
Say that you
Oh, that is
love
so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cute. Yeah.
I like that.
Do we know if the Islanders have a good voice?
they might just be dancing or something. I think she's singing.
Okay.
I don't think they cast Islanders
Like,
based on
let's
their voices.
Let's not like make fools of people. Let's like please give
I assume she'll be singing and they'll just be like,
I think so too. They're just like on the float. Yeah.
Cute. That's very cute.
No, totally.
Cute. That's very cute. Sorry, I don't know if you guys heard the last part.
Oh, that is so cute. Yeah.
I like that.
Do we know if the Islanders have a good voice?
They might just be dancing or something. I think she's singing.
Okay.
I don't think they cast Islanders
Like,
based on
let's
their voices.
Let's not like make fools of people. Let's like please give
I assume she'll be singing and they'll just be like,
I think so.
I mean, I kind of remember when you and James Kennedy went on Watch What Happens Live and you were like doing a whole, like, he was doing a rap and you're like, oh, you were like, come on, be my baby tonight. Come on, be my baby tonight. I know you seen the way you treated other thugs you've been with. Come on, be my baby tonight. No disrespect to David from the Real World New Orleans, but I do remember when you and James, and it was kind of cringy and embarrassing. But okay, we're worried about other people making fools of themselves.
So too. They're just like on the float. Yeah.
Cute. That's very cute.
No, totally.
So yeah. And then the patronizing, like, oh, that's so cute. Not like, wow, that's a huge deal. She's on a huge platform. And she's not even known anymore for just Vanderpump Rules. She's known as the host of a very popular television show that is not canceled, where she was not fired from like the rest of you. It's just like, yes, you wish you're on that. And yes, Scheana, the Cranberries called and they're like, retract our name. That is the Cardigans. Okay. Thank you, Mtronics, for the super chat. Mtronics says, hey, happy holidays. Thanks for the fun this year. And Lala is lame per usual. Just unnecessarily lame. It's just like Lala. There's no other word than unnecessary. Jill Christine, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Yes, Roxanne says, it's patronizing his to go, that's so cute. That is just so, oh my God. That is adorable. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of Ariana. I've never heard of Macy's. I've never heard of Thanksgiving. I've never heard of a parade. I'm like not really into that like basic ass boring shit, but like that's so cute for her. Not that's amazing. That's iconic. She's so talented, because I wouldn't expect Lala to say anything or to be nice. But she said what you just said, you were her cheerleader. You just said, oh my, I'm a cheerleader for her. That's not cheerleading. Every chance you get to either say, I don't watch that. I don't know what that is. Oh my God, that's so cute. Oh, you watch that? Oh my God, I did not watch that. That's not cheerleading. So don't tell us that you're a cheerleader for someone.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, clearly you're not. You're just a hater. Okay. So props to Janet, Jared, and Scheana, who actually seem to show genuine, joy for another individual. And no props to sad Lala, who still just wants to be miserable and a hater. Unnecessary. Okay, so now let's get into the podcast episode. They started talking about this, I think, about 45 minutes in. So they talked about everything but, including that Scheana said that she went, when she was in New York recently, she went and met up with Brad, and we know Brad as one of Ariana's besties, and they went to Ariana's boyfriend Dan's new bar. Now Dan wasn't there, she said, but she wanted to go support. And Ariana obviously wasn't there. And then guess who didn't even know Dan had a bar? Lala. Lala said, Dan has a bar. It's like, girl, you pay so much attention to your follower count, to everything going on. You host a podcast where you provide commentary on pop culture, and you're going to lie to our faces and tell us, I didn't even know that. Like, you can't, you're that fragile. Your ego is that fragile that you can't just admit that people are doing things, that there are things that are news that you will definitely know about because it's in your world, and you want to exist in media and commentate on these things, but you're like, I don't even know. That is like, that's how fragile you are, Lala. That's how much of a hater it is. I don't want to say shocking because it's not really that shocking because it is Lala, but it's just like, girl, come on.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Just ridiculous. All right. Meg, thank you so much for becoming a new member. Welcome. Enjoy the bonus content and the emojis. Yeah. Beach says it comes off very narcissistic. It's ridiculous. So you haven't heard of anything. So you're just under a rock. Okay. Yet you're hosting a weekly podcast. You go on other people's podcasts. You talk about pop culture, reality television. You were just on Watch What Happens Live, but you have no time to know the very basics. Give me a break, girl. We know you're watching. We know you're up and up with the social media and all the things. So stop. It's just ridiculous. So it was interesting that Scheana went and supported Dan's bar and says it's in, did she say Tribeca? She said it's super cute. And she had texted or sent Dan a text saying that she was coming. He's like, you should have told me I would have hooked up. She's like, no, I just want to support. So her and Brad, my husband, like, making a weird noise. Hopefully he's okay. And so Scheana at least acknowledges that these things exist. You know, yes, she know, and you can read it from her face. Like, she knows these things exist, and she looks sour as hell about it. You just look peanut butter and jelly, and it's just not a good look. And now you're like, you're raising two little girls in this world, and you don't want to put out that kind of energy. But maybe you do. And if you do, just be honest about it. Just be like, yeah, I don't even like that chick. I'm hating on it, and just own that. But to say you're a cheerleader of someone, come on. No player. The face don't lie. Okay. So let's take a listen as they break down their feelings, their thoughts about the Vanderpump Rules firing and brand new cast that is coming, and how they feel about that as former cast members of VPR. So if you guys don't mind, again, give me a thumbs up in the chat to make sure you can hear the audio as soon as it starts playing.
I just want to give you a heads up because I don't think you're going to get the, Vanderpump Rules call that it's not.
Oh, this is Scheana explaining. This starts out the conversation. This is Scheana explaining that she wanted to give Kristen Doty a heads up because they got word that Vanderpump Rules was not going to be coming back with any of the OG cast, and it was going to get a complete rebirth, revamp. And she knew Kristen was about to release that she was pregnant. So Scheana says she didn't want Kristen's big news about her pregnancy to get overshadowed by VPR. And I thought that was, I don't know if I'm having like Scheana softness syndrome right now today. I'm not sure if I'm in my feelings or something, but I thought that was nice of her to reach out to Kristen to be like, hey, release your news before this news comes out. I think that's what a friend would do. And now Lala, meanwhile, I don't even think she's talking to Kristen for something pretty stupid. But Scheana let her know. So maybe I'm just too sensitive today because it's the holidays or something. But I was like, okay, that's a couple nice things, Scheana. It's a couple nice things you're doing there.
Not coming back. But if you're announcing tomorrow, they're also announcing Vanderpump Rules is canceled tomorrow. And I want you to have your moment. I don't want your moment to be overshadowed by this news. So she got hers in first. Good job. But then also yesterday, Tom announced that Schwartz and Sandy's is going to be closing at the end of this year. And
darn.
I mean, regardless of any personal feelings that we have for either of them, it's like we saw how much they sacrificed for this place, for their dream. And when any business closes, it is so sad. And it's like, I know just from hanging out with Schwartz recently, we went to a football game last week. I mean, they really they gave it their all, and
Mhm.
he put everything into it. And it's sad. It's just
That was my favorite part of Schwartz and Sandy's closing. I mean, obviously, I hope all the people who work there, employees, they get even better jobs and go off and do well. But we knew that Tom Schwartz and Tom Sandoval were not going to be able to succeed at this. I mean, Tom Sandoval just left Schwartz hanging, and Schwartz alone, he doesn't. He's never struck us as like the business a boss type. But when they put their social media posts up about the bar closing, everyone was in Schwartz's comments. If you guys look at it on Instagram, being like, Schwartz, you gave it your all. You did it. And a lot of people made sure to either capitalize you or make sure they say, you, Schwartz, put your heart and soul into this. But people weren't saying that to Sandoval. The only person saying it to Sandoval was his girlfriend, the very famous model, Victoria Lee Robinson, that you might not have heard of. Maybe you have. I don't know. Her and like Israel, I think, who was on this past season, just kind of like one of the friends. He was in the infamous pool scene at Ariana and Tom's house when Tom was being so cringe and hitting on those women in his pool, and it was just a mess. But pretty much nobody else, all the Bravo celebrities were in Tom Schwartz's comments and saying, you worked your butt off, you put everything into this, and not Tom Sandoval, because Tom Sandoval was too busy, hooking up with Rachel Raquel, being a victim of that hookup and that affair, and then going on multiple shows, starting a podcast. So of course, this business fell to the wayside, and we saw Schwartz call Tom out very briefly in the season about this when the scandal of it all, came out. So it's interesting to see Scheana saying, oh, they both put so much into it. We know they both did not. We know Tom Sandy, but he didn't do nothing.
It's an end to an era in so many ways,
Mhm.
Finally, it's like, obviously everyone's heard the news by now because it's Friday when this is coming out, but Vanderpump Rules is being rebooted for
What? Oh my God, I had no idea. Jay Wiggle, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Welcome. Enjoy the content.
for season 12 with an all new cast at SUR, like the Real Housewives of New York. Just, new season, new cast. It's not Vanderpump Rules, the new cast, the new class, the new generation. It's just
So are they starting?
Should have done like Saved by the Bell, the new class. They should have done Vanderpump Rules, the new class, and had Mr. Belding there.
of New York. Just, new season, new cast. It's not Vanderpump Rules, the new cast, the new class, the new generation. It's just
So are they
Vanderpump
starting it?
Rules.
Are they starting it on 12, or will they
Yeah.
do what Reboot did for Roni? Because Reboot Roni starts at season 1, doesn't
No,
it?
it doesn't. It's like 14 or 15 or whatever. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, if you go
Uh-huh.
onto Peacock, it's listed
Yeah.
as season like 14
It's
or
the
15
exact
or
same
something.
as what they did with them. Same
Oh.
show, same IP.
Well, again, I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. That just was my job, my main income. God, I don't know.
New
Okay.
cast.
All right.
So
How do you guys feel?
Well, I mean, I have to thank everyone, you guys included, who have been checking in on me. Thanks so much.
I always check in on.
It's a lot of laughing. Like the ongoing joke, like, is Scheana okay? What
Gina.
about Scheana?
Yeah, no, a lot of people have been, so thank you. But
Lala just looks like she hates being there.
I mean, how are you feeling? I feel like this wasn't a shock to us. I think we knew it was coming, but then getting the call. This has been a moment.
Well, they did a quick edit there. I wonder what was the did you see that? Like getting the call. Yeah, tell us about that, and then a quick cut.
How are you feeling? I feel like this wasn't a shock to us. I think we knew it was coming, but then getting the call. This has been a
Right there. Getting
moment that I've been waiting for, in not like a positive way, but like knowing one day we're going to get the call that Vanderpump Rules is over. It's not going to go on for 100 seasons.
Right.
No show that. So I'm like, how am I going to feel the day that I get that call? And I felt at peace with it. I feel like if it was last year, the year before that, like I think maybe I wouldn't have been in the same place in my life. But
Get your mascara, bitches.
Yes, these are my real lashes.
Not
Thanks to
clumpy. Okay.
I don't know.
That's
It's mixed feelings. How are you feeling?
I mean, I've known that this was coming for a while. I think I knew the moment that I lost my shit at the finale of season 11. It just felt very final to me.
Yeah.
And there was nothing left to say. The story was done. And I think I've said that for quite a while. Like, there's no more story to tell with this group of people. But I'm not comparing when I say this moment to the passing of my dad. But there was a moment in time I remember.
Okay, so she says at the finale, she knew there was nothing more to give, nothing more to tell with these people. I don't necessarily think that's true. I think there was nothing more to say or tell with the direction it was going, with the way Lala and Scheana kind of sold Ariana out, how they were trying to paint Ariana as the villain, and how, Alex Baskin-Robbins and Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog, the executive producers, wanted to save Sandoval from any natural repercussions that would happen in a friend group when you betray people. And it was so different from the reaction we got in season 10 to season 11 that it felt disingenuous. It felt like people were bought off, and it just felt gross, and we didn't want to watch it anymore. So Lala saying, I knew, maybe that's when you knew, or should admit, that you chose the wrong side. Instead of being like a girl's girl and keep going with the support of Ariana that made you a lot of money with the send it to Daryl and all that, you chose to go in another direction because you believed, I think, what production was telling you. And you were a little peanut butter and jelly because people weren't caring about the you and Randall breakup, because we just expected that because nobody invested in that relationship like people did Tom and Ariana throughout the years. And so I think you just didn't care. And if you would admit that it was the shift of you and Scheana, it was the shift of production wanting to paint Sandoval as like a victim himself, or somehow he had been through enough, when it just freaking happened. And anyone in life is going to have, there's going to be consequences for your actions, and there's going to be social consequences to something like this. And you might be on the outs of your friend group. You probably will be. And women on the show in the past, when they've cheated, have been on the outs of their friend group. Look at Kristen, when Kristen and Jax hooked up. But Sandoval somehow was just going to get a free pass, and everyone was going to be forced to film with him and just forgive him and act like nothing happened. And they were really almost bullying Ariana to a point where, like, oh my God, you have to film, you have to get over it. And where we saw Tom still actively trying to paint her as a villain, when it's like, sir, no. But production was a part of that, and Lala and Scheana, and just like, we saw it. So maybe admit that you chose to go the wrong way. But now she's going to bring up stuff about her dad. But I wish they would just both admit, like, we fucked up. We did. Okay. We really thought we're going to lose our jobs. And I should have never put that over my friendship and just being like a genuine person, because ultimately you, on a reality show, you are your brand. And if people can't trust you and you will just be so flip-floppity for the almighty dollar, no one's going to want to watch you. And you can't have a brand where you keeps it real, finger guns, and then, flip-flop anonymous all the time, or leave out, not be transparent, like with the Jessica situation on your podcast. It's not going to be good for your brand. But I digress. Here's Lala. Both of them, I think, are pretending to be more unbothered than they really are. But then we're going to start crying.
Being in a limo in Utah, not comparing, left to say the story was done. And I think I've said that for quite a while. Like, there's no more story to tell with this group of people. But, I'm not comparing when I say this moment to the passing of my dad. But there was a moment in time I remember being in a limo in Utah. And limos are like not a thing anymore, right? So this limo literally broke down on the freeway up to Park City, and I wanted to lose my shit. I remember looking at my dad and being like, wanting to take my anxiety down, because I'm like, this is a moment that I want to remember because it's funny. The limo's we're in a white fucking broke down limo on the side of the road. And I was like, and my dad's not going to be here forever because he was having health issues. And then the call that was made where it's like, dad's gone. And I immediately went back to that moment of like, fuck, it came, it's here. And I'm not comparing like the end of Vanderpump to that.
Course.
But I remember so many moments of us all having ups and downs and being like, you guys, we're on a fucking great television show. This is wild. Like one day it's going to be over. We're not going to remember the bad. We're just going to be so happy that it all happened and it's not going to last forever. So that's the moment like when Alex called me and I knew it was coming, but it was like, oh, we're here. It doesn't exist as it once did. And now I'm having the someone refers to it, Landon referred to it as the graduation effect. Where it's like, you never want to go back to high school, right? Like a horrible time, but there's something that sinks in where it's like, I feel this intense bond to my cast. They probably don't feel the same way, but I'm like, I'm not remembering any of the bad. I'm only remembering the good. I'm thinking of like myself as like a 24-year-old, like in the craziest of worlds.
I know.
Been getting sober on this show. So much of my.
Do you guys think this is everything? Do you think, as much as she tries to push it away and pretend, it's finally hitting her that like she made some bad decisions and this is over, and maybe a little accountability is hitting her? Or am I just hoping? I think I'm hoping for too much, you guys. But obviously she's very emotional about this. Her and Scheana, you can't say you knew this was coming, or it's not a big deal when you both were willing to sell out your friend and what seemed to work for you the season before, which was like the girl power thing. You were willing to sell that out to just be like, all right, let's just get rid of Ariana. We'll just be friends with Tom, whatever they say. Let's just do it. Let's just take her down. Let's just help Tom Sandoval take Ariana down and take Katie down while we're at it. Fuck them. Do you think this is her realizing that maybe had she been a person of like substance, had she stuck to some kind of morals or morality or like empowerment, she'd be in a different position than she is now? Or you guys are like, I don't know if I'm just feeling like Sensei today. But Lexi says she's mourning the loss of the paycheck. I mean, yeah, that's probably true. She's crying about her mortgage. Okay, you guys get me back to reality. Rachel says, can't remember the bad, huh? LOL, forgot about yourself, Lala. Did you now? You helped do this. Yeah, the serious delusion is real. Such crappy individuals. Anna says, maybe you shouldn't have doubled down on how justified you were hating on Ariana. All she had to do was apologize to Ariana before the season aired. It wasn't that difficult. Yeah, and we'll get into, she'll tell us more about that. Catherine says, Lala is the reason. Own it. She is so fake. Yeah. Narni says, they're going to the Valley. They still get a check. Yep. And I'm sure they're going to be working to get permanent spots there. Michelle says, no, I don't think she learns. The little, like, my little feminist heart hopes that they both like wake up and realize, but then I'm like, especially with Lala, like she just continues to be such a hater. And for what do you get? Is there like an Ariana hater prize you get? Is she getting like a bonus from someone? Is Tom Sandybutt paying her the money he should be paying back his mom? We know he doesn't have any money, but so maybe we're just crying because the money's gone. Okay. You guys checked me. I appreciate it.
Life has been documented.
Yeah.
Ocean and summer.
I know. And I feel like obviously like we will have like you and I at least have that opportunity to keep our stories being told, but for this to just be done and
you should be so proud of yourself. And if you look at how
here's where I'm like, Janet, go home. Janet, we didn't need you to interrupt. I wanna hear the delusion from these two. This is the worst when you have friends who are enabling, going, and you should be so proud of what? Proud of what? Proud that they sold themselves out on the last season. Proud that they both actively helped Sandoval not be held accountable and went after Ariana. Proud that she thought they were her friends and this was a real girl power Spice Girls season, only for them to be stabbing her in the back every chance they got. Like, proud of what, Janet? Janet, be quiet. Shush.
But for this to
they're both
be done.
And you should be so proud of yourself. And if you look at how Bravo and other shows have done things since, that crossover was so epic and legendary and
was like
iconic,
90
and they've
years ago.
tried to do it again, and they've used the same format because your moment was so iconic on that they were like, well, look how well this worked out. We have this hit TV show from this crossover, and they've, I think you need to both of you guys need to give yourself a ton of credit. Everybody on the show, you guys have created.
No, the problem is you need to give yourself less credit. That's the problem. You guys are delusional and believe your own hype. And that is the worst thing you can do, is starting to believe your own hype. You have to have some humility. You can't just be like, yeah, I'm the shit. I do this every decision I make. You want to get popped. Like, that's the problem here. You're giving yourself way too much credit. You're taking way too many liberties. All right.
Something so iconic and cool, and nobody's ever gonna be able to take that away.
Yeah,
you guys did something that
Zoe.
There's millions of people that would want to do or have tried to do, and there's something so magical about the.
Who are these millions of people that tried to do what they did on Vanderpump? What is Janet talking about? There are millions of people who tried to do what you did. There's so many who wanted to work at a restaurant and then just get famous and then stab their friends in the back. There are millions of people who want BJs for PJs. There's like a million. Is Janet drunk? What is going on? She is stretching this way too much. Way too much. And yes, why? What's the limo story? What's the significance? I guess the significance is she, in that moment, even though things were going bad, she still was able to look over at her dad and be like, oh, okay, I'm trying to figure this out. And be like, it's not that bad because my dad's here. And then in Vanderpump Rules, until he wasn't there. And then in Vanderpump Rules, even when it got really bad, it's like, oh, but at least I still have Vanderpump Rules in this TV show. And then that is taken away. So that's what I took from the story. But why the limo? Why do we need the specifics of a white limo? Where were you going in Park City in a limo? I know Park City is pretty fancy and where they have Sundance, but okay. Anyways, Janet, be quiet. She's going to keep talking to you guys.
Cast and the people that you guys all worked with that, I mean, all I can say is it's so iconic.
It's so iconic, you guys. It's so iconic how you embarrassingly betrayed your friend and now the show's over. It's like fucking iconic.
Or have tried to do, and there's something so magical about the cast and the people that you guys all worked with that, I mean, all I can say is it's so iconic.
We couldn't have done it without one person. It, like to go through.
Yeah, you could have done it without Tom Sandoval. I honestly think they could have done it. You could have done it without kissing his ass. There are some people you could have cut for sure.
There's so many changes and still be able to maintain a show, and then to go out the way we went out. It was
horrible. Say it. It was horrible the way we went out. And Tom Sandoval, good for me.
So no one saw it coming. It was just like I said in my post, like, we rocked this bitch until the wheels fucking fell off.
Yeah. No, you slashed the tires. You drove on the rims. They got all dented and messed up. And you could have easily just replaced the tires. You know, you didn't have to slash the tires. You didn't have to keep driving on it. So you were just driving on the rims. These two are like, haha, yeah, until the wheels came off. Oh my God.
And as
we did.
I don't feel like we've been replaced at all. I feel like.
But you literally have. It's still going to be Vanderpump Rules, but with different people that aren't you. That's replacing you with new people.
We've graduated. It's just not the same.
You didn't graduate because you didn't want to leave. You guys were like super duper seniors. You were like me when I was like, I'm going to do 5 years in college because I didn't want to leave yet. I was like, the real world's scary. I'm going to pick up another minor. So you didn't graduate. You were evicted. You were kicked out. They were like, go get your GED, bitch. You're done. There's no graduation ceremony. You're not going to get to hold your diploma. It's just done.
Nothing lasts forever. And I'm really excited to see like this group of like new, young, just like excited about life. To like, I want them all to fuck each other. I want them to have fucking meltdowns.
Yes.
It's like, just do it, baby. Because there will be a day where you decide to settle down, have some kids. Maybe a couple of you may find yourselves in AA, and it's all fucking good.
Yeah.
So I feel a little bit differently than you feel, just because I know what this show did for my life.
Yeah.
And it completely changed it. And I'm so excited for another group of people to see.
if you knew it was done and you were excited for another group of people to come in and all this stuff, then why did you become the producer's puppets that last season and say, you're stopping my bag, I'm trying to get this show, you're going to get it canceled? And you jumped on the Sandoval bandwagon when you both know, especially you, Lala, know you hate him. If you knew it was going to end and you didn't care if it was going to end and you graduated from this, why did you hold on so tightly to keep this show alive and go against the girl power thing and simp for Sandoval? If you were done, it just makes no sense. Just be honest, girl.
See, take advantage of it though. Like, don't be the person on this show to like get caught up in the moment and think that this life lasts forever. Like, start teeing yourself up. Like, think about your hopes and your dreams and your goals.
Now she's gonna be it. Now she's gonna be a life coach. Think about your hopes and your dreams and your goals. Don't do BJs for PJs, or do BJs for 2 PJs. Like Graphics is saying here, I thought you needed to feed your kids. You're like, I need to feed my kids, bitch. I need to feed my kids. Ho, you taking breast milk out of my baby's mouth? Like, what are you talking about? You literally were upset with Ariana because you feel like she wasn't bringing it. The show's going to get canceled and you got to feed these kids. And anyone who questioned you was a rabies bitch. But now she's like, yeah, I was ready. I'm over it. Just admit, like, you wish you were still getting that paycheck. You wish you were still on the show and you effed up. And that's that.
And look at this as like something to parlay into all of those.
Yeah. No, and I said that to Baskin. I was like, no, I think that this group, it was going to be too hard to keep making the same show. I understand,
Totally.
your decision with that.
I do wish, though, that they would put a button on your guys' run of the show. Do you know what I mean? Like, close it out, put a button, and then, like what you said, like the new class, the next generation. I do, just as like a viewer and a Bravo fan and everything, it feels like it would benefit the new show going in instead of like the weight of what you guys have done for the last over the past decade or whatever. Like, it's hard to bottle that magic. So hopefully they've got a new approach to it.
But we talked about this in the car, Jared, because I don't even know that would help. I mean, Vanderpump Rules, the cast was lightning in a bottle. And the
like
only
once in a lifetime kind of
once
thing.
in a lifetime.
Every time they say lightning in a bottle, I just think of Tom Sandy Butt's horrible character where he's like, baby, you're like lightning in a bottle. That song that he loves to sing or try to sing, or he screams.
The only new cast members that came on and really actually stuck were myself and Brittany.
Oh my God,
And
that's
James.
a good point.
Because James wasn't there in the beginning.
But he was like the boyfriend, right?
No, end of season 2, we talked about him at the reunion.
Okay.
And then he came on season 3.
Was he in the mix at all during the other seasons?
He's a busboy, wasn't he?
He was a busser, but it wasn't until like the reunion season 2 where Kristen and him had hooked up. So
yeah, I don't remember James in the first season.
He was like the first.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now Kristen's pregnant with oh my God, time
with
really
Tom's condoms. You don't remember that?
Oh God,
that's right, I do. It's all flooding back.
People bring up early VPR hookup days. I'm like, ew, those people know each other, let alone used to hook up.
But they used our existing cast for season 8 to kind of like soft launch get everyone comfortable with a new group, and it did not go the way it was planned. So as excited as I am for like these new Vanderpumpers, I'm like, you guys have really big shoes to fill.
Big.
There were so many authentic connections.
So many.
That you just don't find, very often. Once in a blue moon.
My hope for them is that they don't try to fill your shoes and that they don't try to recreate what you guys have done. I hope they all go into it as authentic and real as they are. And I hope it does well. And I hope that they create something different, but successful.
Social media was barely a thing when you guys started this. Like,
I
Instagram
didn't
started
have
at
it, you guys.
2012.
No.
I literally got Instagram when I
just don't understand why Jared and Janet are there. No offense, all offense. I just don't really need them here for this. But here we are with them here. Okay. So Lala, I didn't even have social. I was just like fresh off the boat from Utah. I was just like a Utah thug, just being my inner Tupac inside of me. I didn't even have social media.
You signed on to Vanderpump Rules because people just told me like I should.
With your ass photo.
Yes, I remember showing them. Like, look at her profile photo. This hoe.
I love that you posted that in your slide.
Iconic.
Like, you guys, you didn't think that I was gonna like be a hothead and show my ass. Like, I literally entered the scene showing my ass. So of course, like there were gonna be some fucked up moments along the way.
If I ever had an ass like that photo, I'd be posting it everywhere too.
That's very nice of you.
We were all just jealous. That's why we were talking shit.
Actually,
I
I'm
can
gonna
admit
post
that.
it today. Just
Well, look at Scheana'S admitting something. They were just jealous of Lala, and then her ass photo on Instagram when she first came on the show. If Lala could ever admit anything like that.
Look, I wish my ass looked like that. Look at this hoe.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
I have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have known that VPR was going to end as we know it before you did season 11, would you have done anything differently?
It's absolutely genius. It allows your ingredients to penetrate.
Commercial. So Janet is going to be the Barbara Walters over here and ask her question. Okay, Janet, what do you got?
That VPR was going to end as we know it.
Of course, to me.
It was Janet.
I have a question for you guys.
Connie Chung, Janet.
If you would have known that that VPR was going to end as we know it before you did season 11, would you have done anything differently?
So no, I wouldn't. And I knew I was adamant after.
Whoa. I got to hear that again. What?
I have a question for you guys. If you would have known that that VPR was going to end as we know it before you did season 11, would you have done anything differently?
So no, I wouldn't. And I knew I was adamant after season 10, I am not coming back to Vanderpump Rules.
Does anyone remember her saying that? Put it in the chat. Am I just having revisionist history? I thought for sure. Yeah, she wanted to come back to Vanderpump Rules because she made so much money on Sent It to Daryl and pretending to be a girl's girl and having her back. But now you didn't. But then when you did come back, you fought so hard to feed your kids and you needed the show, but you weren't going to come. What were you going to do? What?
I'm on such a fucking high. And they were like, just one more season. And I was like, this is going to turn out very badly. I'm just letting you all know it's going to turn out badly. It turned out worse than what I prepared everyone for. Okay. So
not only was she like, I do not want to come back. I'm on such a high. And then the next season, she begged for it to keep going. To the point where she was like, Ariana, you're starving our babies. Our babies are starving because of you. But not only is she claiming, no, I didn't want to come back. I wanted it to be over. But that she also knew, like she can't admit anything. Like she knew it was going to go horribly. And she warned them. She warned everybody. She's like the Oracle. She's like in the damn Matrix. She was like, let me see in my dank Coke. This is going to go really bad. So I'm just warning you guys. I know everything. I'm never wrong. No regrets. No regrets. Nothing. Oh my God, Lala. It's got to be exhausting to be like, first of all, to just lie to yourself and others this much and to be like this fragile and try to protect your ego rather than just going, yeah, no, I wanted it to come back. It was good money. It's a great show. Obviously, who wouldn't want it to? And I fucked up. And I wish I did not do what I did. I should have just stayed on the path that was working. The pro Ariana, pro girl power. That makes sense for women. Because who has women friends that when you get cheated on, your friends are like, fuck her, I'm with the cheater guy. Yeah, the guy that had sex with her friend while her grandma was dead and she was mourning her and the dog died. Yeah, I like that one. The guy who can't sing. Yeah, the creepy one who sometimes has hair extensions. I'm going to go with him. Yeah, the one who owes his mom $250,000. That's my guy. I'm betting on him. No woman in the history of vagina, uterine power, unless you're the damn devil herself, is going to vote and be team cheater when it's against your friend.
There's nothing that I would change. I knew that at some point I was going to explode and blow up. I don't think I would have actually. I'm going to say this. There's one thing that I would have changed, and it wasn't on camera. I wish that after the finale, after I lost my mind, that I would have called Ariana and said, I want to let you know that I said some really, really hurtful things. It'll probably be friendship ending. it was not my style. I can't even believe that I didn't do that because I'm so adamant about when I say things behind your back, I'm going to say it to your face. I still went to her show. I still supported her.
She has like a different, there's like Taylor's version. We're getting Lala's version, but they're real bad. It's like she has a different version of reality.
It was not my style. I can't even believe that I didn't do that because I'm so adamant about when I say things behind your back, I'm going to say it to your face.
Since when?
I still went to her show.
She faked the funk that bad. You still went to her show. You acted like you were really good friends and you knew you had this, like all these things. And the saddest part of last season was seeing that Ariana really thought that this was like, they were the Spice Girls, girl power. She had no idea the extent to which they were hating on her behind her back. And then she continued to do that off screen. Not even on the show anymore. The cameras weren't even on, and she just continued to do that. Like, that's your character. That's who you are.
I still supported her, all the while knowing that I said what I said. Because I think in my mind, I compartmentalized. I was like, but that had to do with the show.
Totally.
I was angry at her for the show. And I wasn't even angry at her. I don't regret saying what I said. I regret not giving her the heads up and saying.
So I don't regret being awful and saying rude shit about her because I was jealous and I thought my paycheck was going to end and I was willing to go whatever way I thought the money was going to land. I don't regret that. I just regret not warning her that I said dirty shit to her.
I said this because of X, Y, and Z. I probably should have told you sooner on camera, but just giving you the heads up, this is going to come out.
Because you guys didn't see the end of the final episode until you were sitting at the reunion
with each
right?
other.
No, but I knew that they weren't going to air it until the reunion. I got the call that it was like, hey, by the way, they're saving the last 15 minutes. And I was like,
but Ariana
great.
didn't get that call. And if she did, she didn't answer because she looked at me at the reunion and said, what the fuck? And I was like, you didn't know this was happening? Like, I knew this was happening. I assumed everyone knew because I knew she knew.
Yeah. And obviously, I think a lot of people are like, Lala thought that wouldn't air. And I'm like, no, we knew it would. Are you
This
crazy?
is your first rodeo.
You guys are pros,
yeah, they're
you know.
going to cut that.
Well, then that's where I struggled too with my loyalty to Ariana and Lala because I was.
Sheena, you can't be loyal to everybody. Then that means you're loyal to nobody. I mean, that's just like basic. Sheena's like, my loyalty to Lala and Ariana and Tom Sandoval and the camera crew and the floor and the moon and the stars and the sun and obviously Ocean and my friends from high school and the people who were at my high school who I weren't friends with, I don't really know their names, and the people that were walking down the sidewalk past me and the sandwiches. That's something about her. Like, I was trying to be loyal to everybody because I'm a good friend. It's very Gretchen Wieners. Like, you're trying to please everyone. Meanwhile, you're not pleasing anybody because you can't do that.
There when she said these things, and I also didn't give Ariana a heads up because I'm like,
oh, goodness.
Well, this was said on the show.
You guys are just like shitty. I also didn't give her a heads up. I was like, maybe the bitch knows, maybe she doesn't. Good luck.
Well, now the show is done filming, and then we'll just go back to our lives, and then we'll film the reunion. And I assumed before the reunion she would have seen it. I had no idea they were going to hold it until then.
But you said you got a call, so you could have called her. This is where, this again, I got to quote Judge Judy. I hate to keep doing this, okay? But I actually don't hate to keep doing it. But Judge Judy, when you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. And when you lie and you're moving stuff around, you better have like the best memory, okay? Because your lies are really catching up. Because you just said, yeah, they let you know before. And you're like, well, I didn't know.
Loyalty to Ariana and Lala because I was there when she said these things. And I also didn't give Ariana a heads up because I'm like, well, this was said on the show and now the show is done filming. And then we'll just go back to our lives and then we'll film the reunion. And
the fact that Scheana didn't tell Ariana that this stuff was said and she had to just see it in real time. She couldn't even warn her about the Lala stuff or encourage Lala to be like, you need to tell Ariana. We can't just leave her hanging like this. She's already been through so much. That is, dude, Ariana, oh man, I could not be friends with these two. I could not be friends with these two ever again. They're not even trying to, but they're showing their whole asses here. Okay. Not just in like the Instagram posts like Lala likes to do. She likes to show her ass literally, but they're showing their ass.
I assumed before the reunion she would have seen it. I had no idea they were going to hold it until then. But
Scheana, Ariana said you're family and you said she's family. This is bad.
that too, because I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell Ariana what she said and then have you be upset with me.
I appreciate you not telling her.
So you prioritized Lala's friendship, what she would want and think, over Ariana, who you've been friends with longer. What?
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you. Like, it's important in the checks and balances of the universe that liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves. All people that love the truth gotta be happy if the truth coming out and lies is getting exposed. That's just what time it is. 2024, folks.
2024. Witness says your friendship was very important during one whole season, Scheana'S.
Wasn't my place to tell her, because then that would have just caused an issue with us. The show was done that night.
Couldn't you encourage Lala to tell her herself?
You know, what's the point of me telling her and having them fight after the show has already wrapped? It just wouldn't have done any good.
I have another question for you guys.
Be quiet.
What would you say are your at least highest, like your high and low of—
Who cares, Janet? Oh my God, Janet. I kind of hope Kristen eviscerates you this season. I can't take this. You're just let them keep digging their grave, Janet. They're burying themselves, Janet. It's like, okay, so what was your rose and what was your thorn? I just have to ask. Janet, we don't care.
Not any good.
I have another question for you guys. What would you say are your at least highest, like your high and low of the entire experience of doing Vanderpump Rules? Is there one scene that you were like, oh, if I could get rid of that one
forever?
Like, so many.
Whatever.
All of season 6.
What was season 6?
Rob.
Damn it, Janet.
Rob.
Mine would be that was.
If it wasn't for
Wait, was
Rob,
that the TV guy?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
that could go.
The moment you
Season
said Rob,
6.
I'm like the
That can go.
montage of her being like,
Rob,
he didn't want to be
Rob,
on the
Rob,
show,
Rob.
and I'm like picturing Rob getting up, making a toast. I'm like, you're such a fucking douche.
if it weren't for Rob, though,
You're only
we
saving
might
grace.
not be
That is so
friends.
true.
See,
So
everything is
every negative has
yeah.
a positive.
A silver lining.
So full circle.
And then do you also have a favorite moment? Obviously, I assume like, the babies and all
The
that.
wedding, your
Can I
wedding.
please
Oh.
answer the first
silly one.
question?
Yeah.
The one thing that I wish that I could just hide away for no one to
Oh,
ever see
Lord.
again is me getting my hair dyed, talking to Stassi about.
I remember
Oh.
this so vividly.
The
Yes.
Range Rover.
And by the way, it has nothing to do with what I said. I'm okay. Suck dick for a Range Rover
Yeah, of
and
course.
plenty more.
Same.
Whatever. Fuck it. I got to figure it out. It was
Get
the
it,
way I
girl.
looked while I was there.
Yeah, you look-
I'm checking 2 free bags.
So Lala's like, I don't care. Suck dick for Range Rover. I was the way I look. So of all the regrets you could have, no regrets. It's just you just thought you looked so messed up and silly. And then she wonders why no one was invested in her and Randall's relationship. Like, that's great. Own it. Fantastic. Nobody cares if that's what you want to do. Live it, girl. Live your best life. But then to be like, why didn't everyone care that Randall cheated on me? Girl, because he cheated with you. So then he cheated on you. He had a whole wife. He had kids. Like, it was just a transactional relationship from the beginning. He had money and no neck. You had youth and beauty. So you didn't want the no neck, but you put up with it. You wanted the money. He wanted the beauty and youth. And we're not going to be invested in that shit. And then she's like, she's so mad. And then she's like, yeah, no, I don't care. I asked D for this. And Lala. And we're only, of all the things she could be, wish she could take back, things that just in this past season alone, or times when she wasn't the best friend she could be. She was like, I just didn't like the way I looked. Oh my God.
To do with what I said. I'm okay. Suck dick for a Range Rover
Yeah, of
and
course.
plenty more.
Same.
Whatever.
Randall.
Fuck it. I got to figure it out. It was the way I looked while I was there.
Yeah, you looked insane.
I looked crazy.
Crazy, fully.
It was like before the ears were all cute and pinned back. I had a little bit of bloat going. It was just not good.
Yeah, there's many moments that if I watched it back, I would cringe. But we had such a good fucking run.
Yeah.
I am so proud of us.
You should be.
11 seasons. I mean, other than
So proud of us. They're so quick to congratulate themselves without admitting that, like, the producers and the Toms, are the reason for the downfall of the show. 100%. Nope. We had such a good effing run. Now they're just going to take the victory lap without admitting why they didn't get to the Super Bowl, without looking at that. Like, yeah, we didn't even make it to the playoffs. Like, and the show probably would have been over had Scandal not happened. You know what I mean? Because we had Lala for season after season saying she didn't even really want to bring it or show her life. And then all of a sudden she's like, I'm going to show everything.
Obviously, Housewives, Kardashians, Jersey Shore. I mean, what else has had like this long of a run, been nominated for Emmys? I mean,
it's iconic.
Okay. That was recently nominated for Emmys, and that was, editing, all the stuff, things going on with Scandal, the raw emotion. But all right.
2 weddings on a show. Like, I don't think many people can
Who
say
the
that.
fuck has been married twice on one
Yes,
show?
Kelly Kel.
I love that.
They were basically Kelly Kel's accomplices to a murder. You murdered the show. The show is over, and you two were just kept stabbing it. We're like, it's dead. It's dead. You could have like resuscitated it. You could have stood on business and been like, no, we're not going out like that. We're with our girl. If anybody treated us like this or didn't have our back while going through a cheating scandal, we would be so upset. And if I remember correctly, Ariana did have both of your backs when you went through breakups, when you went through losses and things like that. But instead, you guys were like, no, we're just going to pretend to be her friend to her face and then throw her under the bus and simp for the producers and Sandoval. Okay.
There is one housewife. Someone told me, because I'm like, am I the first? And they're like, no, someone else did it first. I was like, oh, all right, whatever.
Well,
but
we can't
remember.
who it
Can't
is.
remember exactly.
Maybe she was a one-season wonder.
Yeah, I had my band over the other day.
So you think she's a one-season wonder, someone who got married twice on the show? That means she would have gotten married 2 times in one season. I mean, that would have been pretty iconic, but I do not remember a housewife, and I think that'd be kind of hard to do, right? Have 2 weddings in one season to 2 different men. That might be a little iconic.
Today we're finishing Christmas Sleigh. We're putting out a remix. I believe it comes out, what did I say, December 6th or something?
With the 2 7s, the 27th.
Are you doing another remix of Good? How many? It's amazing. You're so quick to murder the show, but you resuscitate and bringing back like staying alive to Good as Gold. Is that what she was talking about? How many versions are they going to put out of that song?
Told me, because I'm like, am I the first? And they're like, no, someone else did it first. I was like, oh, all right, whatever.
Well,
but
we can't remember.
We can't remember exactly.
Maybe she was a one-season wonder.
Yeah, I had my band over the other day. We're finishing Christmas Sleigh. We're putting out a remix. I believe it comes out.
Okay, it's her Christmas song, not Good as Gold. Okay, Christmas Sleigh. Oh my god, can't wait.
What did I say? December 6th or
Lala's like, I don't care. I don't listen to you. What do I say? Lala had checked her phone so many times and was texting during this podcast. What did I say, Lala? I was like, I don't know, bitch. I don't know. I don't cheer for women. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to feed my kid, ho. Lala is not interested, Scheana.
Or something.
With the 2 7s, the 27s.
Yes, 27's remix with Lala and I. Christmas Sleigh will be out soon.
It's really cute, the new version.
I can't wait.
It's really cute.
Oh, it's with Lala. Yay. Great. Awesome. But yet, you don't watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, and you didn't know Ariana was singing in it, and you've never heard the Cranberries, technically the Cardigans, Love Fool, but you both want to be singers. Okay. And Ariana got a whole gig on Broadway that she was asked back to where she sang, but all right. Okay.
So when they were over, Kevin had asked me, he goes, well, if the show is done, are you happy with how it ended?
No.
And I'm like, yes and no.
What? Scheana'S.
Well, I said, I think I looked the best I ever looked at that.
You didn't actually. You did not look. And I'm not even talking about outward looks. I'm talking about the whole package. All right. You guys both look like dumbasses. And you're bawling your eyes out, and it was a mess. It was a mess.
Reunion. So happy about that.
You looked so
beyond
good.
So we're only just, you're like so pretty. You're like really pretty. Everything you said was like super dumb, but you look really good.
For that, I go for the finale up until the shit hit the fan. The fact that I got to perform with the band, do 2 songs. They didn't have the audio to where I sounded bad like they've done in the past to me. And I'm on the bar and they're using this audio and not the mic audio.
So playing your real voice.
I was like, you know what? I'm proud of that performance. It was so much fun. Like that was an epic finale party. And shit hit the fan and we had the reunion and all that. But I was like, I'm glad that I at least got to go out with a solid performance for the end of the show.
You guys, I sat at that.
Who's going to tell her that really wasn't that solid? No offense, all offense. But it was like just jumping up and down. And the band was great. Just like Sandoval. The band was great. Okay.
Finale party. And shit hit the fan and we had the reunion and all that. But I was like, I'm glad that I at least got to go out with a solid performance for the end of the show.
You guys, I sat at that finale and I was like, I'm not bringing it. I refuse. Y'all better make something happen because I ain't the one. My back hurts. Not the fucking one.
Y'all better bring it because I ain't bring. My back hurts. I'm not bring. You thought you brought it? Interesting. It's interesting what your definition of brought it would be. This is what Lala has. This is what she keeps doubling down on. She brought it. No, you ruined it. You brought it into the ground. You sunk it. You were the Titanic of Vanderpump Rules. Like you, iceberg right ahead. Like you're the iceberg, bitch. Like I don't know what this chick is talking about. She's like, I carry that shit on my back. I'm sorry, what? Did you get cheated on? Were you Ariana? You brought it. You showed your raw emotion. You were a flop fish anonymous. Like, what is this chick? I'm on my back. I'm not, I'm going to sit here. I ain't bringing it. You brought it with your sperm story. Where did we bring it to? What did we do? What happened? What's going on? My back hurts. This chick is Lala. I just said, I'm not doing it. Okay, my back hurts. I carried this season. In what world? In what reality did we? Okay.
A finale, and I was like, I'm not bringing it. I refuse. Y'all better make something happen because I ain't the one. My back hurts.
My back hurts. I ain't the one. You want a water tasting? You better get it yourself. You better know the difference between Evian and ice spring cold water. You better know Aquafina versus Dasani. I ain't bringing it. Finger guns. I'm not bringing it. You want to see my white boy dreads brother? I'm not bringing him. I'm not going to bring him. You want to go to the sperm clinic? I'm not bringing you. I'm not doing it. What does she think she brought? I mean, oh my God. Oh, yeah.
Not the fucking one. And then Jeremiah makes his way over to me and I'm seeing commotion. And he goes, everything that you felt, I want you to demolish the fourth wall. And I certainly did.
Like a bird.
And then it was just pathetic because it was like, I give my all on this. And Lala being the last person to kind of narrate all this. And it was so disingenuous and not true because she spent a lot of her time on Vanderpump Rules trying to hide her real life while claiming that she keeps it real. You want to get popped, Lauren from Utah? But then she ends up being the narrator saying how Ariana, who literally lived out one of the worst things you can live out if you've ever been through, that level of betrayal. And then not even the betrayal, but the fact that the person who did that to you, who you thought was your partner and that you loved, wants to continue to drag you and make you into the villain and doesn't give a shit about you and wants to expose you when they're the one that hurt you. They just want to keep hurting you.
In
No,
Germany,
but truly, I
baby.
sat on this leather couch in my gold outfit that thank God Scheana brought that because my outfit had a
backups for the
split
girls.
on the ass.
Oh.
And I'm a great packer. Like I only pack for the nights that I need. No backup plan.
Ooh.
No backup.
Would have been
what a
iconic
risk.
to start start your
risky.
experience with your ass and to end it with your ass.
My ass. Oh, I
You
was
should've
showing
left
my
your
ass in a
hanging
different
out.
way.
Yeah.
But
There's the truth. Yeah, you were showing your ass in a different way, and it wasn't good. So she talked to Jeremiah was a bullfrog, the executive producer, and he said, "Let it loose." And she was like, "Okay, fuck Ariana, fuck this shit. We all get."
truly would have just planted myself on that leather couch all night and been like, "It's been great. Tomorrow's my birthday. I'm gonna head to Palm Springs. Hope to see you guys not for a very long time. Like, stay away." That was the hardest season I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking it would end. Like my feeling towards it. And
I know.
it was just like, but everyone was feeling it. No one wanted to be there.
Yeah.
I think that was the other thing is I'm like, there's no more story, but also like there's such a vibe when cameras pick up and we're all just like fucking ready to go, right? Like we're ready to make great TV. We're ready to go toes. This was like showing up. No one wanted to be around each other. No one was having fun. There was a storyline that understandably.
Okay.
This is the green.
If we could just recognize, of course, no one would want to be there because you were pushing it and it was too forced. There should have been some separation from Tom. They shouldn't have just pushed him down not only Ariana's throat, but everybody else's, even the viewers. There should have been a little bit of time, a pause where he was on the outs like other people in the show had been. That's what the difference was from the season before to this season. So the fact that Lala just refuses to recognize this and they just want to go, oh, because she got cheated on and then they didn't want to film together. It's like, no, it wasn't fun because in deep down in your heart of hearts, you know that it's just coming off so fake and not fun. And it's not like the natural progression. It's not what we would naturally think we'd see in this friend group. As much as it's a TV show, there's still those like, raw human moments, these emotions like we saw when the cheating scandal was outed. We see this raw emotion. Ariana showed up. She was there. She was in the house with him filming right after it happened. Cameras in her face, confronting something that was pretty horrific. That's when she showed up. The next season should have been, how does Tom find his way back in? Not how do we save Tom from any consequences, but where does Tom fit? Tom needs to find out where he fits. Not everyone drags him along, puts a leash on him. Come on, Tom, my poor dog, Tom. No, Tom might have to figure out his life. He might have to figure out why he continues to hurt people and blame other people, why he thinks it's only Rachel Raquel's fault. The whole affair, because he's just a little baby and he's very impressionable.
Guess what? I was very impressionable when she took all her clothes off and jumped in my pool.
Yeah, we're not robots like you. We were drawn. Obviously, a lot of us have watched the show a long time. And obviously the scandal of it all was like shocking, tugged at people's heartstrings. A lot of people have experience with something like that and seeing not only the deception, but how people behaved after. So I think you even know, because Lala and Scheana aren't dumb women. They're just choosing to be willfully ignorant about this because they don't want to admit that they fudged up. You fudged up. Oh my gosh. So her to be like, no, it wasn't fun anymore. I wonder why. You turned on your friend. Of course it's not fun. You didn't really want to hang out with Sandoval, and that's okay. We could have done a whole season of the Tom on the outs of the friend group and watching a group of women rise up and help out their friend who was going through something very difficult. That could have been so empowering to watch. You could have called his ass out a few more times, but no. Instead, it was like, Tom's here. I think we should just get over it. Everyone should forgive him. Ariana being such a bitch. God, don't you have enough? Just leave the house. Let him have it. The fact that they're going to keep, what they're going to do is they're going to keep going with these narratives and to make it look like what we just watched as an audience, like we're cuckoo crazy. They're going to just do revisionist history on all of it. And it's just so on brand, but also continues to be unnecessary. Oops. I think I have it muted.
No one was having fun. There was a storyline that understandably Ariana was like, I don't want to talk about him. And I'm like, and that's fine. I really don't either. But like, there's cameras here, so we kind of have to. Like this is honestly.
Look to the left, look to the right, look in front of you.
But she did talk about him. And she did talk to him in the previous season. And she knew she was going to talk about it. She just didn't want him to be forced on her every time, and him to be able to accost her and do what he does, where he wants to paint her as the villain and continue to attack her. She was setting her boundaries. She didn't say she'd never get there. She just said, it's so fresh. Don't like shove him on me while he's still attacking me and shows no remorse and wants to play the victim.
Like, I'm honestly just trying to get the best cum on the planet to get pregnant with in a few months. Like,
how nice. What's the origin of your birth story, little Sosa? Well, mommy said she wanted to get the best cum she could on the planet. The miracle of life.
this is the last thing I give a shit about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't give a shit about the show or what was happening on the show? So it sounds like, again, more reason for you to be part of the blame for its downfall. You didn't give a shit. You just wanted to talk about your jizz? You just wanted the best jizz? Is this a baby story? Like, what? Who's going to watch a show about Lala finding her, like, the Bachelorette, like, the Jizzlorette? Who's going to, what? No one's going to watch that.
Good.
Quick one. So now, obviously, you guys are on the outs with some people, close with some people, knowing that you don't have that commitment to filming with them coming up. Is there anybody that you feel like you're going to reach out to or make amends with? Anybody that you're like, once I don't have the connection of, a show with them, I'll probably never see them again?
I don't think I will change anything that I have been. I text Ariana here and there. I ran into Katie at a festival, but I'm not going to like reach out more, reach out less. I'm just going to continue doing what I've been doing because show or no show, all of these people have been in our lives for so long. And it's like, when I see you, I see you. And when I don't, I'm living my life. And I think I'm just going to continue on the same path I'm on and excited for new adventures.
I love that, Sheesh. No, I think I've got my circle right where I want it to be. And it's not that like I said, for some reason, I'm forgetting all of like the bad stuff that happened. I'm sure other people have not, but I don't think I need to.
Yep, that's your defense mechanism to protect yourself from any culpability, any liability, any kind of inner looking at yourself, any kind of self-awareness. We know what you're doing. I mean, she's like, I just remember, I'm not remembering all the back because you don't want to be accountable and admit that you fudged up.
Reach out to anybody. I'm happy in the space that I'm in. And I think.
Are you though? Are you? Because usually happy people can be happy for other people. I could even be happy for you, like congratulations on Smarter Than a Zygote or whatever the show you're doing, Smarter Than a 2-year-old. That's pretty cool. You got to meet Travis Kelce. Good for you. Happy. Well, I guess that wasn't that happy. That was pretty passive aggressive too. But I do come from Minnesota, the land of passive aggressiveness. So passive aggressive, recognize passive aggressive. But if you were very happy and you're in this space, in this Zen space where you're just trying to find your jizz, trying to get your sperm, just looking for the right cum, just come on, fill up my cup, jizzy, then you could find it in your heart to be happy for other people's successes, especially since you say you're the cheerleader, Ariana, which you said it. I didn't say it.
It truly seems like everybody is. Maybe not the Toms. I think the next chapter of their life is going to be like one to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that this one's ending for them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Makes sense.
That none of that made sense. I feel like the scene from Billy Madison, like I don't know what the frick any of you are talking about, but all I know is that we are all dumber now for having listened to that pure rubbish. I don't know what this chick is talking about. But apparently there's going to be a part 2. So Scheana said it during this podcast that they're going to stretch this out to a part 2. So we're going to have to roast part 2 as well. But really, I got nothing out of this other than the fact that they are both still pretty delulu, especially Lala and a hater. It's just the hateration is real. Lala is not in a place of joy and jizz like she wants to be. I don't know 2 people who claim, I don't know 2 other women who would treat a girlfriend like this who just got cheated on. I just don't know them. I would expect my enemies to treat me like this when I'm in a situation like Ariana was in.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Moral of the story, they're both still awful. And they just haven't got the memo yet. Okay. And they're going to hope that this revisionist history sticks. And they're going to keep feeding it to us like propaganda. But we remember, that's the thing about us fans. We remember, we know, even when I had a little bit of sensitive feelings earlier, you guys put me right back into my place. Like, oh yeah, remember the opportunist that Scheana is. Oh, yep, I remember. I remember. You got to get your member berries. I remember. You guys. So I mean, I just can't wait till part 2. And I'm sure that Lala will have maybe part 3 and 4 on her podcast, while Ariana just continues to get opportunities and not say anything. Okay. Moral of the story, if you were listening to them, don't work with other women and don't cheer for them. The moral of the story, if you're here, cheer for your friends. Work together. Girl power is real and strong. And when you deviate from that, you're going to lose your TV show that you are now saying you knew was going to go away, even though you fought so hard the last season to keep it. And we're like, I got to feed my baby. I got to feed my baby, bitch. Okay, you're taking food out of my baby's mouth, bitch. And you fought so hard to keep the show on, but you were like, now you're telling us you didn't want to come back and you knew it was going to. The lies, Candy Burris. I cannot. I'm going to see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Ash, Miss Olson, with the most important question. Okay. Is Brock still blonde? I believe so. Yes. The member berries from South Park. Roxanne says Brandy remembers too. Brandy remembers some stuff. Yes, she does. Kylie says it won't be long until they turn against the Valley women and get kicked off that show too. Yeah, I saw you guys putting that in the chat. And as much as Janet's like, yeah. Wait till it turns on you, Janet. And if you guys invite both Scheana and Lala on the show, Lala will come for all of you. And pretty soon the show is canceled. Yes, JD, Jenny. And they lost. You lost. Take the L. Admit it. We lost. It would have been so great if you just would have admitted it now. Janine, you are so welcome. Blah, blah. Fire and Flames said, blah, blah, go have another. Bye-bye. I will definitely tell. Nana hi. Catherine says, Lala, sadly pathetic and fakes girl power and empowering of one. You didn't have to get pregnant with a donor, Catherine says. Evelyn says, Brock needs to get a job now. He is, I think, training for a triathlon, Evelyn. Is that, do you get paid for that? That could be a job? Lisa says people who are at the top of their game continue to be at the top of their game. The negativity just breeds more negativity. I don't know. Is Brock having a Sandoval type identity crisis? I don't know. A Schwartz identity crisis. Is he in his 40s yet? Is he doing a midlife? We don't know. Cami says, I want to know what happened to Jessica. We all do, Cami. That is really, we need to have a docuseries. We got to pitch it to Netflix. What happened to Jessica? Remember baby Jessica that fell in the well? Luckily, she's fine. Okay. That's a reference for my Gen X Zennial crew out there and boomers and older. Baby Jessica from the well is fine and dandy Randy. And now we want to know producer Jessica because Lala pushed her down a well and won't tell us. But we know she pushed her in the well. We know that Lala did that, but she won't. Mims in the chat. Hey, Mims. Mims says, how long before Sandoval's Rolls Royce gets repoed? I think he's probably just renting it. Or maybe it's his mom's. So they're probably there now. Yes, baby Jessica, Kara. Liz says, Brock's probably still painting the piss on his wall. Oh my God, you guys. Not paid by anyone says maybe Jessica got cast to the new VPR and Lala. Wouldn't that be something? That would be something. Oh my gosh. If she did, Tracy says spawning with Randall would make me want to find a site for, oh yeah. After Randall, yeah, I would be just looking for jizz too. Will says, question Janet. If you knew VPR was ending, would you have... Janet had all the questions. Would you have done anything differently? They were like, no, we would double down on exactly what we did because clearly it worked. It just ended. Huh? What? Evelyn says, how long with the Tom's, or will the Tom's girlfriend stick around? Well, the 24-year-old will be gone within the year. 2025, she'll be like gone. I mean, she's young, her whole life ahead of her. Tom Schwartz he's a sad sack. Like he's got some issues he's got to figure out. And Victoria Lee Robinson, the famous supermodel, and Tom Sandy Butt. I mean, she's going to have a hard time getting rid of him because they've moved in together. So she just has to get used to paying all the bills because we know Tom likes to take money from women. And he took it from his mom. He took it from Ariana. when it came to the house stuff. So hopefully she can book some more modeling gigs because, yeah, they're gonna need it. Sarah says, why would she do RIP VPR episode with the Valley people? Sarah, that's a wonderful question. That's totally logical and makes sense to us. We don't know. We don't know. Maybe it was their way of saying, but we're going to the Valley. Our new friends. Let's see what our new friends have to say. And even your new friends were kind of looking at you sideways at times. So Cassandra says, Jessica needs to use some of her jiu-jitsu moves on Lala. Maybe Jessica beat up Lala. Maybe they did a jiu-jitsu and Jessica won and Lala couldn't handle it. I really think Jessica got another opportunity. My guess, pretty much what Scheana told us in her podcast last week, is that Jessica left Lala. I think she got another opportunity. Lala was probably like, how dare you, bitch? You want to get popped? Like, how dare you leave being my assistant? I gave you the world. Don't you want to keep, picking up my jizz from the jizz factory? And yeah, I think that she probably gave her notice or told her she had the new opportunity. And Lala took that as like the biggest slight and backstab ever. Thank you, Care Bear, for dropping the link to my Patreon. We do have a deal over there. Lexi says, add Lala to the Valley and bring Randall on as a surprise. I can't even, Lexi, as much as Lala needs to get checked, I can't deal with that man. That man is gross. He's gross. But yeah, Will says we need a Lifetime movie, The Disappearance of Baby Jessica, the producer from Give Them Lala. That's what we need. Yes, Scumdeville's mom is still waiting for her $250K. And I don't think she's ever going to get it. I don't think so, you guys. Okay. So that's that about that today. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you hit that like on your way out and leave your comments in the comment section. I don't get to everybody's comments here, but I love to hear from you guys. So I always go back on the video and check out the comments and what you guys have to say. Shout out to all my super chatters today and my new members. Kelly, welcome to the membership. Pamela, thank you for the super chat. Kelly, thank you for the super chat. Mtronics, thank you so much for the super chat. Jill Christine, thank you so much. And then Meg, Shep, and Jay Wiggle, welcome to the membership. Enjoy the bonus content, you guys. I am going to be doing a Salt Lake City recap, the latest episode of Salt Lake City. I mean, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City just keeps getting better and better and better. It's just a stellar season if you're not watching it. Check it out. This past episode, we got a roast and recap. It's so much to get into. So I'll either do that later today or on tomorrow's No Offense, All Offense. You guys are all amazing, beautiful sugar plum pumpkin spice babies. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And I am so thankful for all of you. I hope you had a wonderful holiday as we are now officially in the Christmas season. And I'll be back tomorrow for sure, maybe later today. If you're not already, follow me on social media at Joleen Lunzer on Instagram, Twitter, and the TikTok. And always remember to enjoy yourself because it's later than you think. Bye.
If you like